Welcome to the EXL English Podcast. I'm Mina, I'm an English teacher, and I'm a politics lover.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou. I'm an English teacher, and I'm a beach lover.
This is an educational podcast where you can learn English light and easy.
If you want to practice speaking English with us, please check our website, that's exl-english.com, for a free trial lesson. Okay, let's talk about politics.
Really?
I know.
I'm pretty sure that not everybody wants or likes talking about politics, but I think I developed liking the topic of politics since maybe high school, because I had this really great teacher, my world history teacher.
Okay.
And he kind of put the idea of politics and history together for me very easily. The moment he mentioned that, or the moment that he said that how history is related with the current events, that just blew my mind. And since then I thought, wow, it is really important to talk about it. Well, not argue about it, but have discussions,
healthy discussions
about politics. So if you want to talk about politics, please come to class, come to EXL English.
Yeah, you're gonna have like really good discussions with teacher Mina right here.
Yes,
but I mean,
I would love to hear their opinion on politics and not argue with the students, just for the sake of conversation and self-expression.
Yes, of course, it's also very nice to listen and know what other people's views are on certain things. Yeah, I think that's also a skill to be able to express it without actually picking up a fight with the person you are having a conversation with.
That is right.
Okay.
So tell me about the beach. Let's go to the beach.
Let's go get away. All right. So going back to
we got carried away a little bit.
We apologize for that. But then, so like I mentioned, I am a beach lover. I really can't, or I don't know how to swim, but I love... It's so ironic, right? I love the beach, but I don't know how to swim. But I think what I love about it is the feeling it brings.
That's right. Yeah, so, you don't have to swim when you go to the beach.
Yeah, you can just sit there or pick up shells. Oh my god! But I love picking up shells by the
Curly
beach.
Shells.
Exactly. And I think it just feels like time slows down when you're by the shore.
True. Yeah.
It's very relaxing, and I think it's quite common for not only for Filipino families, but I think most families, right, all over the world. When it's summer, it's really a must to head to the beach.
That's right.
Unfortunately, because of the situation, so we can't really go there. You just miss the feeling and just the idea of being by the beach.
That's right. Yeah, I miss the sea breeze.
Exactly.
And the smell of the salty water. Yeah, but we've never really... now that you mention it, I think we've never really gotten the chance to swim in the beach here in Japan, right?
Exactly.
We just, walk along the shores. We just play in the water, but we don't really take a dip.
Exactly. That's something we should do.
Something that we only do in the Philippines.
Exactly. Yeah, but hopefully, we could, in the future, we could go back and enjoy the time by the beach.
Yeah, I miss it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's, nice memories, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyways, thank you for sharing about your love for today.
Boring, but it's fun for me.
Well, there are really interesting aspects to it, things about politics that really, brings your mind to a more, you're alive.
Critical thinking.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
you got it right. Yeah, so it's also nice to talk about
this.
That's
true. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Well, so today I'd like us to talk about cities and places. So I have here some questions for you. Well, before we go to that, I think our listeners and our viewers already know like where we are from.
Okay.
Yeah, we're from the Philippines,
From
by
the
the way, for
Philippines.
those who don't know. And I live in this city called Taguig City. Taguig. And
Are there lots of gigs in Taguig?
probably. And Teacher Mina right here is from
Caloocan.
Caloocan. All right. Oh my god, I got carried away again. I'm so sorry. Well, so I would like you to share, like, talk about your hometown.
Okay.
And
Sure.
yeah, I have here a couple of things that you should include in your descriptions. So you have their hangout places,
Okay.
famous landmarks,
Okay.
and or shops and buildings.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, there is a place in Caloocan City called the Monumento.
Okay.
Monumento in Caloocan City. Monumento.
The monument.
Exactly. That's where the word comes from, the monument,
right.
because that's where, because Caloocan City, and I'm proud of it, is where the Spanish Revolution had started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we are people from Caloocan are probably people who were eager to fight for their rights.
Brave people.
Yes, very brave people.
Okay.
Hence the monument of Bonifacio, one of our heroes in the Philippines, right?
I see. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
so
very
there-
interesting. Probably I've heard about it before, but
Haven't you ever been to Monumento Station?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
Just a couple of times because it's kind of like far. It's like the
Yeah.
north. It's too north for me, maybe.
That's right.
Yeah, but I mean, this
so that's
city
one
is
landmark.
really- okay.
Mhm.
Monumento.
And yeah, so there is the Monumento statue. Is it what it's called? Bonifacio Monument. I think. Yeah. That's
Okay.
probably what it's called. I'm not so sure. But anyway, one more famous landmark. I think you're very familiar with this. It's called the La Mesa Eco Park.
Oh yeah, that one I know.
That is right. So this is when my family want to to escape from the busy and the hot summer, we just go to the La Mesa Eco Park. And there are it's the temperature in that place is much cooler.
Exactly.
The temperature is much lower back there in La Mesa Eco Park.
There's a lot of greens in there, right?
Yes.
So-
Uh-huh.
And probably because it's a dam.
It's a dam, yeah.
There is a dam in there, right?
Yeah, there's a watershed. over
That's why
there
it's
too.
cooler.
Yes, and there are so many different species of trees and flowers, and you can actually do there are cycling tracks, walking trails. Yeah, so
I
it's
remember that. It's
very
very-
family friendly
Exactly.
place.
And I think
Have you ever been?
I
to
think I've been there
La Mesa?
once.
Okay.
For a school,
A school trip? All right.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
It's a major itinerary for school trips.
That is
right?
true. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And okay, so those are some of the famous landmarks that I can recall. Hangout places.
Are there
me
nice
see.
hangout places?
Tell me about Taguig. What are some
There
hangout
are,
places?
I think,
there?
a lot of hangout places in Taguig
Okay.
because, it is quite near, Makati, which is another
that's
famous
where I
city.
used to work.
And there's also a business district in Taguig
Yeah.
where more nicer shops and restaurants are located. So
Okay.
yeah, although I haven't really been there I think I've been there just once, and it's not even for going around. It was just for running an errand, and that's
okay.
it. But I know
You just passed by.
exactly. But that's
Okay.
the richer area, or a more
Yeah.
affluent area of Taguig City,
Okay.
not the residential side of it.
I have been to one nice place in Taguig, the Grand Canal.
Yeah,
Mall.
it's like a Venice inspired.
Yes, I highly
mall,
recommend
right?
that place. I mean, of course, Venice is much prettier,
Of course.
much more beautiful. That's
It's
the
nicer in
original.
Venice.
Yeah, but I mean, it didn't disappoint for sure.
Wow, I'm so
Please go.
glad. Yeah. I'm a tourist in my own
You
city.
live literally like 5 minutes away from that place.
Exactly. I definitely should, check out these places when
Yeah.
I go for vacation next time.
Yes.
Which is maybe like 2-3 years from now.
Oh,
Okay, but
knock on wood.
anyways, yeah. Yeah, that was great. Anything else that you would like to add
Hangout
to
places
it?
in Caloocan City. Oh.
Oh. Oh, my people.
I suddenly remember. There are lots of like popular resorts
Oh, all
near my
right.
place. There's the Luz Viminda Resort.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty
Like nice,
spacious.
there are
Yeah.
a couple of pools in
Uh-huh.
there. Ooh, okay.
And gubat sa syudad. I don't know. Okay, it's a Filipino word. Gubat means like a forest.
Mm-hmm.
A forest in the city. Yeah,
Oh, I
that's
like that.
That's the name of the place. So my family and I, we don't really go to parks so much. We just go to the park that's nearest to our house, which is within our neighborhood. But when we go out of our neighborhood, we tend to go to resorts or like the eco park
Okay.
places. Yeah, that's
Oh.
where we usually went.
All right. I would love to, one day also
Go
like,
biking
around.
with me.
Exactly.
The eco
Let's
park.
have a tour around your city and then mine. Okay,
Yes, for
that's
sure.
definitely what we're gonna
I'll
do.
be your
next
tour
time.
guide.
All right. Wow, that was wonderful. Thank
Yay.
you so much for sharing about Caloocan City. There you
Uh-huh.
go. Caloocan represent around here. Okay. Well, so.
Yeah, I miss Caloocan. Do
Aw.
I?
For a second, I
don't know.
really thought you did.
I
miss
love
your
Japan.
city.
I mean,
Yeah, of
there
course.
are so
definitely.
many great hangout places here in Japan too.
Where do we start? I mean,
Don't get me started. I have a long list right here.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much again for answering that question or those
course.
questions I had for you earlier. So
Mhm.
today we are going to talk more about the phrases that we used a lot earlier. So you might have noticed us using there is and there are in our answers.
Yep.
So we're gonna talk a little bit more about those phrases.
Mm-hmm.
And let's begin.
Okay.
So these phrases in English are called expletives. All right. So an expletive, by the way, is a word that is a word or a phrase that is used to fill in or fill out a sentence or a line of a verse that does not really add sense or like meaning
Yeah.
to the sentence.
That is right.
Right? Okay. And when do we actually use expletives?
To talk about the existence
Very
of
good.
something.
Yeah, that's right. So it's to talk about the existence of something.
Yes.
You're saying that thing or that building or that shop, for that matter, is there. It's existing there. Or later on, we're going to talk more about that. All right. So there are a couple of things that we need to remember when we use these phrases. So let's start with, of course, the number. So for there is, it's usually followed by a single noun or
A singular.
a singular. I mean,
Yeah.
a singular
Singular
noun,
noun, yeah.
or a non-count.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for in the examples that we had earlier, so there is another example. Let's have this one. There is a police camp near my town.
Okay.
So police camp, singular. There you go. So for number. Now we also have there are, which would be for plural. Plural nouns or when the first noun in the series is plural. For
Okay.
example, there are 2 big shopping malls in this city.
Okay.
There you go. So that's number 1, which is number. Okay. Now let's
There
have
is and there
there
are.
is and there
Okay.
are. Okay. Let's have the negatives.
Okay.
Okay, so you can also turn these phrases into like negatives by adding the word not.
Okay.
Yeah, but usually how we do that is like how it's like usually done is by contracting the be verb in your phrases, such as is and are, and then adding the word not, contracting these two, so you have there isn't and there aren't.
Okay.
All right. So now let's move on to the tenses.
Okay.
You can also change the tense of the be verbs in these phrases. So you have the there is and there are. Now you can also change that to the past tense. Say, for example, you can have there was or there were, there wasn't or there weren't.
If the mall is no more, then you say there was a mall.
Yeah.
There
was a big mall near this town.
Yeah.
Isatan, shout out.
Yeah, Isatan. Yeah, they left us
already last year.
They packed up and left us.
So there was a big mall. It was a fancy, bougie mall before in this area.
Okay.
All right.
There was
there was in this town. Okay. Now, you can also turn these phrases into questions.
Okay.
And how do we do that? So what we do is we place the be verbs in front. So instead of there is or saying there is, you say is there.
Is there. So you just switch.
Yeah. And instead
there is there. Is there.
All right. There are
there.
And of course you can follow it with the rest of your sentence. So, is there a mall in this city?
Is there Echo Park? Is there an Echo Park near your place?
There isn't any.
There isn't any. Okay.
Yeah. So you're quite lucky. You have a nice
it's just minutes away from my place.
Yeah, in your town.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, and so just a few more things about that. Earlier, I'm so sorry, I forgot to mention this with the negatives. So for there aren't, we usually add any.
Okay.
Right? For negatives, so there aren't any eco parks in my town.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So I think that would be all.
All right. So let's move on to pronunciation.
Yay!
Yes. We're going to practice pronunciation. So get your muscles ready, your pronunciation muscles ready. Okay. We have there is a new cafe.
There is a new cafe.
So how we do, so the pronunciation I want to focus on is the contracted form of these sentences.
All right.
So instead of saying, during spoken situations, we tend to use the contracted form, which is there's a new cafe in my town.
There's a new cafe in my town.
All right. So you see. First one, the longer one, there is a new cafe in my town. Contracted form, there's a new cafe in my town.
There's a new cafe in my town. That was a lot easier. Right?
Yeah, that's right. And then for R, we don't really contract R so much, so just leave it there. There is, but we do contract the negative form of R, which is, let's say, there are not any Filipino restaurants in Sagamiana.
I believe so too.
Yes, this is a fact. There aren't any Filipino restaurant near my house. So the longer one, there are not any Filipino restaurants near my house. Contracted one, there aren't any Filipino restaurants in my near my house.
Or near my house.
Okay. And of course, we also contract is not. So there isn't a library in my city.
There isn't a library in my city. Although I think in Sagamiana there is.
There is, yes. There is not a library in my city. Well, actually, one more thing. So there are two ways in which you can pronounce there is not. You can say you can use there isn't,
There isn't.
or there's not.
There's not.
Yeah, so just leave theirs and then not.
Okay, like separate.
Afterwards,
So these
yes.
two are acceptable. Like you can use both.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, I guess that's it for the pronunciation practice.
Wonderful.
Good job.
Okay, now we move on to the game.
Oh, right. Yeah, we have a game.
We have a
right.
game. It's gonna be quite short. Don't worry.
Okay.
So we're just going to take turns, like describing and guessing cities or places or countries in the world. This is called the Where in the World.
Where in the world have you been?
Okay,
go.
So who goes first?
You
go
Should I go
first.
first? Okay.
Okay.
Wait. This is easy actually.
All right.
Like, I think the first sentence will surely give it away.
Okay.
There are. Okay, wait. Let me start from the more like general one.
Okay.
There's yummy steak. Okay. There are koalas.
I know.
There are kangaroos. Okay, where in the world is this?
Is it Australia?
That is correct. Okay, your turn. Go.
Okay, my turn. There are many ancient temples and theaters in this country. And there are many pretty coastal villages in this country.
Okay.
And that's all the clues. Those are all the clues I have.
Coastal villages.
Pretty white coastal
I
villages.
know. Is it Greece?
Oh, you got
I
it!
knew it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, next. There is mac and cheese.
Well, there's always food in your
There
clues.
are Pop-Tarts.
Oh, this is quite difficult.
Okay. There is Cajun cuisine.
Oh my God! Hold on. The first one was there.
There.
Is this a city?
There
Is this
is
a country?
no, it's a country. There is mac and cheese.
Is this the USA?
That's correct. USA.
Oh my God.
USA.
I'm not gonna mention the next one because I actually chose USA.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what are your clues?
There's a famous lady statue.
Okay. The
yeah.
Statue of Liberty, and then.
And this is so easy. Like there are many states.
There are 50 states.
50 states in this country. So
Okay, and then
that's all
Just
that I
two
got.
clues, okay.
Yeah. So it's quite easy to
all right,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
All right.
Yeah,
Yes.
try to play this game with your friends as well.
Yeah, it is quite fun. Anyway, so how about you guys? Can you talk about your favorite cities or places or your hometowns using the words and phrases we've learned today?
So, do you want to practice more? Go to our website, exl-english.com for a free trial lesson. Catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.